Alright. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Sunday, October 4th, 2009. This is episode 162. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, a question from Hale. What was your most uncalled for betrayal in a video game? And joining us this evening is Keith.
Playing Left 4 Dead, and we were running to the helicopter on the No Mercy thing, and I just turned around and blew Chris's leg out from under him so the zombies would stop to eat him so I could get away. I did get away. There is no I in me!
And also joining us is Phil.
I always hated in Diablo 2 when people would try to duel you and then they turn hostile and then try to kill you or kill other people and then steal all their equipment. They'd be like, hey, you want to duel? Oh, yeah, sure. So then they duel. It'd be legitimate until like they were about to kill somebody and then they turn hostile, which allows them to loot things.
Yeah, I ran into that a lot. They'd be like, hey, you want to do it? And I'd be like, Alt F4.
Okay, what's Alt F4 mean?
Alt F4 kills your program.
Ah.
So there's no possible way you can lose your gear.
There you go. And also joining us is Bob.
I am notorious in Left 4 Dead for betraying my teammates.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bring up the most recent one, which was that Ivan or Phil. The last time we were 2 feet from the boat, and whoever was next to me went down, and I killed the zombie that was next to him, and there was no zombies anywhere near them, but rather than turning around and picking them up, I just got on the boat and stood there and waited for them to die, and then left and won.
I'm right here!
I mean, it took, I had more than enough time. There was nobody anywhere near, but I was just like, there's a smoker. I know there's a smoker, and I'm not chancing it. Sorry, buddy, you're done.
Yeah, there's plenty of times where I've never made the boat or the plane or the bus or whatever. Just been right there and just something, either the tank or the smoker or something just...
Or somebody shoot your leg out from underneath you. It happens. I mean, I don't got to be faster than the zombies, just faster than you.
I forget. Keith, what's that tagline? Survival of the fittest or something like that?
No, well, the thing I always say is the game is called Left 4 Dead, not everybody gets on the boat.
And finally joining us is Ivan.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead is fun. The coldest thing is to run towards a safe room. Notoriously, without fail, whoever's in the lead, whoever's first, will open up the door and without even slowing down, close the door behind them, which doesn't automatically end the level or anything, but then the person behind them has to take the time to open the door again.
It's usually just long enough for a hunter or a smoker or somebody.
But because it's our group, whoever's on the inside will just sit there and keep closing the door on.
Dude, you did not make the cutoff time. I am sorry.
And then the best thing is, so this is mine, and I know I've done this before. I forget who did it first. It was probably Bob or Keith. When you get knocked down, you have to be helped up by a teammate. And the funniest thing to do is the little dance where because you don't just pick them up and it's one button. It's a bar, like a cast bar, and it takes like 3 or 5 seconds to pick them up. And the funniest thing to do is pick them up and then let go of the buttons so that they fall back down, and the guy just keeps getting up and falling down, getting up and falling down.
Yeah, I do that to pretty much everybody. And sing Hot Pants! Ah!
And it sounds like you're like twisting a hot knife in their stomach while you're doing it too, because I was like,
It's really funny though.
So yeah, if you play Left 4 Dead, I'd recommend doing that because it's hysterical. Another cold thing to do is when the guy's picking you up, shoot them in the face.
Or if they're nice enough to run up behind you and use their med pack on you, because all you're doing is standing there while they fix you, and you're just right there in their face with your gun aimed right at them, and it's very tempting to just shoot them, although they are healing you, so...
That's a tactical question there. It depends how many zombies are right behind them.
You know what? But we all understand that that's just the nature of the beast. Like Bob said, it's called Left 4 Dead. Not everybody gets on the boat.
That's why that game is absolutely no fun to play if somebody doesn't have voice working. That is half of the fun. Like, yeah, yesterday, that's why I really did not want to play until you got your microphone to work, because it is no fun if you can't hear the other person complain.
Well, plus, it's just mean if you, like, shoot somebody and leave them for the zombies, then you're just a dick. But if you're on the microphone laughing while you're doing it...
Well... It happens sometimes.
You'll respond when the board ends, don't worry. I'm just going to close the door.
Since you guys all took Left 4 Dead, I'll have to go with my old standby of back in the old StarCraft days when me and Tom would, ask if I wanted to do a free-for-all, 1 versus 1 versus 1, and then someone would come into our game and we would team up with one another because we were sitting next to each other in the same room, and then we would proceed to royally screw the last guy and just...
But did you do it the right way where both you and Tom told the third guy that you would team up with that guy, and then instead of teaming up with him, you two would team up with each other?
We did that so many times. We did every possible gambit you could think of. We allied with them, built defenses in their base, then turned allied off for them and destroyed. We've done everything.
That's always the best. Just that moment of betrayal when you just finally, walk up to shake the hand and just jab him in the gut with a knife. Because then especially, playing the board games and that, because, A, you get to see their face of just that, but I'm going to look like it doesn't bother me. No, it's cool, but I'm really all bummed out right now. And it's so satisfying. It does suck to have it happen to you, though, but it's worth the effort because it's just satisfying.
This week on the GamerCast Network, Doc Lino and Dave ruffle a few feathers among the Halo faithful with their coverage of ODST in episode 84 of the Sarcastic Gamer podcast. The post-game report welcomes back Finster to talk about the PSP Go and the Old Republic beta. Could this be the fabled WoW killer? Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Okay, so let's move on to unsatisfying things.
Sex with me!
No, that's very satisfying.
I was thinking more along the lines of Fallen Earth. Who would like to talk about this nice MMO?
When we decided on Shattered Dream Pie, there is not a more appropriate thing to rate this game, because I really had my hopes up for this thing. If you go to the Steam page and you read the little description... In fact, I'm going to go to the Steam page and read the little description.
So while you're doing that, let me preface this by saying last week was when you and Keith were all excited about buying this game, and you were going to wait a week, and then you didn't. And...
So how is the game described there on the page?
Let me get to the... all right, I'm going to skip the little description. Post-apocalyptic, fine. Your post-apocalyptic Earth, it's like Fallout. But it's like, first-person shooter role-playing game hybrid. Combines the accuracy of FPS combat with the depth and customization of RPG character advancement. And you know what? That's about as far as I needed to go. Because I was like, I want to play this game. You know what? I'm playing Left 4 Dead. I'm really into the killing hordes of minions. If only there was some way I could have stats involved with this, it would be like, video game crack. It'd be fantastic. So I found this game and I was like, wow, this is going to be awesome. The screenshots look pretty good. It's got, all this customization and classless advancement and real-time crafting systems and blah, blah, blah. Dude, if this game would have been released the same time Asheron's Call was released, it still would have sucked. It is the most confusing, annoying, and poorly executed game that I can remember playing.
But it does have the first teleporting coyote of recent memory.
It does have blink dogs instead of coyotes.
Blink dogs.
There's some D&D humor for you. It was just miserable. For every 10 minutes of running, you shot things for 30 seconds. The FPS in this game was just, at least in the zones where I was, maybe it gets better if you're in different zones and there's less lag and all this, but I don't know. Every time I tried to shoot something, you had your skittering, teleporting animals that would slide humongous distances. There was no real connection between, like, you fire the trigger and you get some real impact from your gun. It was just sloppy. The whole thing was just sloppy and crappy looking. It was awful. I cannot say enough awful things about this game. The meter is all the way to Shattered Dream Pie on our little video game scale meter. It can't go past it. It's like soul crushing cobbler. That's where this rates. I mean, I was just so bummed out by this game because I wanted it to be good so bad, and it really looked like it was going to be good, and it just confusing, overcomplicated, poorly developed piece of garbage that I paid $50 for, and I hate it. I hate it. That was my experience with the game. Anybody else? By the way, I played it for about a total of maybe 6 to 8 hours, and I doubt I'm ever going to turn it on again.
I was just going to say one thing. I don't think anyone here has played PlanetSide besides me. That was the MMO FPS that was like 6 years ago from Sony. That game, which came out in 2003, was a much better first-person shooter than Fallen Earth. They couldn't top 5-year-old technology.
I mean, even like the system, the little level system thing it had was all right. I was cool with it. The gameplay is just poor.
I think I mentioned that when I first gave my little email review of it. It's like the plot is really developed. They have this great voiceover work. There's all this like world and expansive thing. They got the interface for the game is really well done and well thought out. And then you just get to the actual meat of what you actually need to do to, make your stats go up. And it was horrible. It was just not fun. It couldn't be any less fun. I don't know how you could make it less fun.
Doesn't Steam have that one-off return one game and something like that along those lines?
Really? I could return this?
Bob, you used your...
Yeah, on accident, because those didn't have the right description down for their game. And so I wasted mine on like a ton of... But yeah, if you bitch enough, they'll give you one freebie.
I might bitch.
My bitching boots may be coming out.
This would be worth bitching over. I mean, this is so not worth $50. I can't even... Oh God, I gotta go hurry up and cancel my account before they accidentally charge me for another month.
Already ahead of you, brother.
So we highly recommend that people don't even think about buying Fallen Earth.
In fact, go out of your way to tell people not to buy it.
It's because of things like this that makes me feel good to do this show. I'm not even joking when I'm saying we are doing you a service beyond services if you were considering buying this game.
Chain subscription. Reason for leaving. Reason for leaving. This is the most horrible, poorly executed, tedious... IOUS.
More adjectives!
Annoying, comma, ... Wow, comma, I'm out of adjectives. Oh, I'm out of characters.
Too much complaining, you must stop there.
You can send another email that says, not enough, for improvement. Yes, increase your reasons why I left category. I couldn't put enough bad in it.
Next topic.
Ivan, did you do anything this week at all?
I did play the demo for Puzzlegeddon.
Oh, you tried Puzzlegeddon too. Good.
Puzzlegeddon?
Puzzlegeddon. This was on Steam for the PC. What do you think of the demo there, Ivan?
It's one of those puzzle games like the one that I don't know how to pronounce. Lumines.
Lumine.
Whatever. It's one of those puzzle games where inherently I understand how to make the game function, but I'm not 100% sure what the goal of the game is. Like in Tetris, the goal is to fit the little pieces together in such a way that you form a row of blocks all the way across and that line drops off. And then in Tetris, you do that until you can no longer clear lines and the boxes get to the top and the game's over. In this game, you match the objects, they have to be touching, and then you right-click and they all disappear, but I don't necessarily know why.
Wait, did you try the tutorial?
No.
Oh, see...
I didn't play I played the demo.
Shut up!
I downloaded the demo as well, and the tutorial is there. It's not the first, it's like the 8th one on the list. So, here, I'll explain what you do. It's a versus multiplayer puzzle game. You're supposed to be playing against somebody else all the time. Or the computer, the CPU. There's like 4 different colors. Green, yellow, red, blue. And you move the rows, you shift the rows in the columns, so you create these islands of like all the red tiles touching and the blue tiles. You have to have more than 4 touching. Once more than 4 are touching, you push the right button, and it turns those, whatever color you got, into reserves. You're kind of like, it's like a strategy game. You're filling up your reserves, you're filling up your attack powers, you're filling up your defense powers, you're filling up your disruption powers. You're trying to constantly fill up like your attack powers. So as you get more and more red, as you clear more and more red, you get more and more red power. And then once you get to a certain point, you fire missiles at your opponents.
I did not know.
See, that's the point of the game is to kill your opponent. The only way you get power to kill your opponent is by clearing the puzzles.
I was clearing puzzles like a mofo.
You were probably charged up all the way. You could have created a black hole over your opponent.
Exactly.
Yes. This is not like Puzzle Quest where it's like a slow back and forth kind of game. No, you're playing the puzzle game. It's like Puzzle Quest in that you're trying to fight somebody else, but it's not a back and forth. You're constantly trying to build up your own power. And then once it gets built to a certain point, you can fire missiles. And then also when you build your green power, you have defensive capabilities. So if a missile's coming to you, you fire the green and it puts a shield around you.
Gotcha.
So you probably got shot a lot.
A lot.
Knowing is half the battle, and so is pushing the tutorial button.
Shut up!
It's a fun game. I think it's like $15, but I think it's just like a one-trick pony kind of game. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not ever gonna play against other human beings that I don't know.
And I don't see everyone buying this game, so, it's unfun playing against the heathens of the world.
Heathens!
But, I mean, if you have lots of friends who like these kind of puzzle games, and if you know everybody who buys this game, it probably is pretty fun.
If you know any heathens, have them buy this game.
Well, I mean, in theory, Puzzle Quest could be played against other people, and I don't know any of us who have ever actually played against each other in Puzzle Quest. I know I never have.
But the thing with Puzzle Quest, it actually has a pretty good single-player game that you don't ever have to actually go into playing the other one. This one doesn't have that whole meta game on top of the actual puzzle game. This is just straight-up puzzles.
It doesn't have as many heathens.
Exactly, yes.
Next topic.
Now what else do you guys want to talk about? Anybody do anything besides Puzzlegeddon, Warcraft, Left 4 Dead, and crappy MMOs?
Shh. You shall not speak its name again.
Which was worse? Well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say which is worse, that or Hellgate London. But Hellgate London was actually a decent game.
Hellgate London was a victim of being released 2 months ahead of time, and then they tried to play catch-up for the rest of the existence of the game. Yeah, what I really wanted was Hellgate London fixed. And that's what I was kind of hoping it was.
Yeah, that might be a fun game.
Hellgate London, I think, is still being developed and worked on in Korea.
I thought they got rid of the,
They did here. In Korea, though, Haneb Soft or one of those companies picked it up and is continuing to develop and play it.
I think that was probably wise. It was too well done to just throw away. It's like the bits of it that didn't work were just kind of annoyances. It really wasn't anything horribly wrong with the game itself. So I was surprised they gave up on it so quick.
It wasn't a proof of concept or an idea. It was fully fleshed out, so there was a lot of development in there. And I think the only reason they didn't bother selling it to somebody here or anything was just that it was another one of those games where 12 publishing places were involved. And I think they all pulled out because of the problems and everything, so there was nobody left to sell it to.
Yeah.
And actually make money back, at least not in the United States. So that's why you did see some crappy, tiny little company buy it. The other problem was that it's an MMO, which means if you were to keep it going in the United States, you'd have to find somebody with enough money that you actually made some money back and that could keep it going, all the servers and development and everything. In the United States, that's kind of tough to do, which is why I don't think it ever continued here. But in Korea, I mean, there's 150,000 different MMOs you can play, so there's always going to be some, it's probably sharing server space with some other MMO.
And I want to say it went free to play, I think. Like one of those free to play, pay for item games.
Does it even still work single player, or can group play?
I don't know about group, but you should be able to single play.
Some of the annoying problems, though, are still going to be there, and they're obviously never going to be fixed,
No,
so I don't even know if it's worth playing single player.
I was just asking.
Asking?
I pronounced the G at the end because I wanted to.
Next topic.
We can go into mail if you guys would like.
Mail.
Wow.
Here we go. Here's your first voicemail message. Ready?
Hey guys, I know a lot of you guys play World of Warcraft, but I wanted to know, are you guys looking forward to Cataclysm? What do you guys think would be a good add to it, except for the ones that are already in it? Thanks.
What are the big 3, I guess, from the new expansion? The big 3 updates they're doing.
Okay, so the big 3 is probably they're taking the old world, the stuff that from the original game, and they're updating all the zones. So all the zones will be different. So if you went through a certain area, it'll be changed, like Thousand Needles, which was this place with just all these big pointy mountain things. That's all going to be like completely filled with water now. Since they're changing all the old world, you'll be able to fly in the old world now, which you previously were unable to do. And then they're adding 2 new races. Horde's getting goblins, and Alliance is getting something called Worgen, which are like werewolves.
Beyond those updates, what aren't they adding that you would like to see them add?
Man, I really don't have anything like... I wish they would do this. One thing I would like... It doesn't really bug me, but you get to a point where you'd like something more. Like they have jewel crafting dailies and fishing dailies and cooking dailies. It would be nice if they had daily quests for all of the professions. It'd be nice if, with my tailoring profession, if you could do a tailoring quest or something to get stuff.
The one thing that I would like to see changed, on most bosses, the range that you have to be within melee range for the melee classes, it varies. So one boss you could probably be standing a good, I don't know, it seems like a couple inches away from the boss, and you can hit the boss pretty easily, whereas other bosses you got to be pretty much standing right underneath them in order to hit them. So a little consistency in that would be a little nicer to help the melee characters.
Next topic.
We had some guy asking us about if we'd like to see any games remastered.
No, death to the past.
You sure? You want me to read the message real quick anyway?
Death to the past.
Okay, very good. Thank you for saying yes. This is from Billy Bill Black.
What?
Just go with it. Since the God of War Blu-ray is on its way.
Blu-ray, if you pronounce it like the Japanese do. Blu-ray.
Since the God of War Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
What old?
It's hard to stop doing it now.
What old games would you like to see remastered in today's graphics and frame rates? And here's the FYI: they are re-releasing for the PlayStation 3 an updated version of God of War 1 and God of War 2, which looks a little better, supposedly. It's not out yet, so. Bob, chime in your piece.
I wasn't paying attention.
Except for Blu-ray, right?
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray!
No game that you guys would like to see, not totally redone, not like change of the game at all, but just...
No! Death to the past.
Medieval for the PlayStation.
That was a good game.
It was an awesome game.
How about Hellgate London?
No, not fix, just update graphics.
Oh.
See, there are no computer games that you still play or PC games
Nope.
that you still play that you
Death
would not
to the
like to
past.
see. And nothing?
Nothing.
Diablo 2.
Nope. Done with it. I'll play Diablo 3. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Done with Diablo 2. I'm the same way with music. I let bands ruin the experience for me. I can enjoy an album, and then you can go ahead and feel free to ruin your sound, so I never ever want to listen to you again, Metallica. And it's like, I don't even want to listen to the old one because I know what it becomes. And it's like, the whole experience is tainted for me now.
You get the full body taint.
I had the full body taint.
Only the strong survive. You're only as good as your last album.
Don't release crap. That's motivation for you. If it's not up to par, too f***ing bad. That happened with Pantera. I liked their albums up to Far Beyond Driven, and then they released Great Southern Trendkill, and I don't listen to any of their songs anymore. And from then on, I just did not care for what they were putting out.
I was just wondering if people really care enough about graphics that, they'll buy or go back and play a game just because they've updated graphics on it.
Here's what I think the selling point will be for this God of War thing. They're including a demo of God of War 3.
Well, yeah, but... Jesus.
Aren't you going to be able to just get the demo of God of War 3, by itself?
Yeah, but if you buy the Blu-ray version, you'll get it, a whole week before they release it for download.
My fault. I don't know what I was thinking.
Next topic.
We seem to always get this question, but what the hell? I'll throw it out there.
So backwards compatibility.
No, the other one.
That's what they sound like to me now. Any statement following the terms backwards compatibility, now it just sounds like a sea lion. It's like, blah, blah, backwards compatibility. PlayStation.
This is not the backwards compatibility thing. This is someone asking about Titan Quest. This is from Brandon. Dear VGS crew, should I buy Titan Quest Gold, Diablo 2, or both? I'm thinking of playing with friends, but I'm the only one with a computer that can handle Titan Quest Gold on everything.
Well, I guess the first thing would be, is price an issue?
And second, if you're going to buy both, play Diablo first. Diablo, I think, is a better game. It's more in-depth, but Titan Quest...
You got that backwards there, brother. You think Diablo is more in-depth than Titan Quest?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I thought you said that backwards.
I do not. I disagree with that statement.
I think that there's more playability in Diablo than in Titan Quest. For whatever reason, it has more staying power. Titan Quest was better because it was new and it was a lot prettier, and all the skill trees and everything were different, and you could merge the two instead of just doing one. You could pick from two different trees. I guess maybe in-depth was a bad way to describe it.
No, I disagree. I think the reason Titan Quest had no staying power is because it did not have a battle net or something to prevent any form of cheating or any type of persistence. It was just like us playing local multiplayer games. Knowing cheating was as easy as it was, and having Chris start cheating his guys, just ended up that one end board. You just ended up doing Baal runs over and over again, at least Titan Quest's version of it.
It was awesome until we discovered cheating.
And there was no reason not to, because there was no online persistent presence of your guys. There was no place to sell items. There was no reason to join games with anybody who wasn't us, because they were all cheaters. Titan Quest's only downfall is that it's a complete and total ripoff of Diablo 2. And stole everything from that game, and it just updated it made the graphics prettier, and it was executed really well.
Yeah, but I was about to say, I'm cool with it because it was executed really well.
But yeah, you should definitely play Diablo 2 first. It is a really fantastic game. You need to realize how long that came out before Titan Quest did, and how long that game stood around.
Next topic.
Apparently, Ivan, you can get a stalemate with a vampire with ooze.
Oh, I've never tried ooze before.
This is from Joe. Joe suggested that ooze can stand up to a vampire. They won't kill each other, but it can stand up to it.
I suppose you can't really turn ooze into a vampire. A vampiric ooze would just be, that's just silly.
It's already pretty much a vampire for everything.
I have Scribblenauts. I haven't played it that much, but I haven't tried this. Do they have beholders?
See, the thing with a beholder is that is a very specific creature. It's not like a Hydra. Hydra is a very specific too, but in theory there could be more than one Hydra.
I think beholders are strictly D&D monsters.
So there are some named, like Medusa. Okay, I'll give you that one. Medusa is very specific, but it's also a Greek legend. It's not copyrighted. Whereas a beholder, as Keith said, is kind of an invention from Dungeons and Dragons, so they couldn't necessarily do that. And there's really no equivalent. You can't type in giant tentacled eyeball creature.
Have you tried a kraken?
Yes, there is a kraken. Looks like a long snake thing. It's like a water creature thing. It will go on land, but it just kind of flops around on land.
Oh, and by the way, there's another kind of virgin in the game. There's the blonde chick, and then there's a guy wearing a t-shirt with a Nintendo controller on it.
I did not know that. How do you get him? Is it just random if you type virgin?
Yeah, it was random. When I picked it up, I tried the virgin versus vampire fight, and I got a guy with brown spiky hair and a Nintendo controller on his t-shirt.
That was the most disappointed vampire ever. Oh!
Yeah.
With all those Al Qaeda guys, they're gonna get to heaven, and it's just gonna be them and a LAN party. This isn't what I wanted at all.
Next topic.
And yes, we did have someone asking us about Halo 3 ODST, but I don't think anyone here has played Halo 3 ODST.
I have it. Tom gave it to me. It is sitting unopened next.
Don't you own Halo 3 as well? Didn't you get that one from somebody?
Yeah.
How many times have you played that?
I don't think that's opened either.
So unfortunately, we can't answer Maya Soul's question here about Halo 3 ODST. No.
What does that even stand for? I have no idea what that game is. Is that the RTS thing?
Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, something like that. It's like a Rainbow Six kind of squad in the Halo universe, and you go do firefights. There's like a hub city. You're running around. It's got a horde mode. See?
So sleepy.
Can't sell the game.
Why can't you sell the game?
Because after he says the word Halo, all I hear is
I caught the end of that, and I thought he was talking about what Keith said, which was literally go sell the game.
Oh, yeah, no. I would suggest that Bob literally go sells the game. He can recoup some of your lost Fallen Earth money.
No, I'll never get my soul back.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 162 for Sunday, October 4th, 2009. Any ham sandwiches, shared dream pies, or apathy cakes for the world, gentlemen?
I think we've gone over the Shattered Dream Pie portion pretty well.
Yeah, only apathy cakes are ham sandwiches. We gotta balance.
I guess we're not giving any credit to the Browns this week, then.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
If we're at a Shattered Dream Pies, sorry, Browns, you don't get a mention.
Ivan, I'm looking at your Steam profile, and you're a member of the Left 4 Dead 2 boycott, but yet, what was it, Friday or whatever, you bought Left 4 Dead 2?
Wait, you're a member of the boycott and you bought it?
He only paid $30 for it.
Yeah, it was cheap, dude. Come on.
I just find it funny. It's like, I'm a member of this boycott. Oh, $30?
Yeah, you know why? Because originally I was like, no, dude, that's bull. That sucks. And then since then I'm like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you said that, because I'm just going, yeah, I'll just go ahead and leave that group now. I joined that like when it first was announced. I'm like, absolutely, dude, there's no way they should be getting away with this kind of crap. F them.
And then we got it as a discount too, and it was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm too old to be pissed about things anymore.
Right. And I'm like, well, wait, I mean, if there's more levels and stuff, that'll be cool, I guess. Final nail in the coffin was, hey, you can get this for $30 instead of $50.
Oh, I can? Oh, well, why is everybody bitching? It's cheap.
And as usual, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
Certain things I have absolutely no desire to touch.
Tom's underwear?
Like Tom's underwear, it is still sitting on the ground because I don't want to touch it.
Wait, why did he leave his underwear on the ground? Like in the living room?
No, it was in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Because he showered right before he left and just forgot.
Here's what I do when the cat takes a crap on the carpet. You take like a plastic shopping bag, and you put your hand in it, and then you kind of pull it so that it's inside out, so you got like a glove, and you pick up the underwear, and then you pull the bag around your hand so that you're not actually touching it, and then you just throw it away.
That's a good idea. And I'm just going to throw it away. Yeah. Yeah, I will do that.
Why don't you mail it back to him?
Just with the plastic bag, wrap it up nice and tight.
Just wrap it in a plastic bag.
I'll leave it outside for a week. Let it get all the good and festered. Here, you
Then
left
just
this.
mail it back. Here, you left this.